Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Good morning and welcome to the Malaysian Investment Development Authority, MIDA, Invest Malaysia webinar for companies. Thank you for your interest in joining our webinar today. My name is Khairul Amir Alais from the Food Technology and Resource-Based Industries Division, and I am very honored to be your host for today. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, I would like to make a few announcements. The briefing will be in 2 sessions. Each session will last about 45 minutes with 3 to 5 minutes break in between. Questions can be posted to the Q&A box in the webinar platform. But before that, kindly state your name and your company or organization so that we can address your questions accordingly. The Q&A session will be conducted after the second session of the briefing. However, you may post your questions during the briefing session. We have a dedicated team to answer all your questions. But we will select a few questions to be answered during the Q&A session. The slides and the recording will be made available at MIDA website and also MIDA YouTube page. Ladies and gentlemen, to start the event this morning, may I invite Encik Ahmad Khairuddin Abdurrahim, Deputy CEO2 and Chief Information Officer of MIDA, to deliver his keynote speech. JK, silakan.
Thank you, Encik Khairul Amir alias our MC for today. Assalamualaikum and very good morning, Malaysia. A warm welcome and thank you for joining us at this webinar of Invest Malaysia online system. I hope everyone is in good health. Together, we follow all the health and safety SOPs to combat the COVID-19 pandemic. In line with MIDA vision statement, which is Malaysia as the preeminent preferred investment destination, and our mission statement, we built a dynamic and sustainable investment ecosystem. MIDA is embarking on a digital transformation initiative to re-engineer our business processes and increase the efficiency of our services. The Invest Malaysia online system is a single gateway portal for public to access online applications for manufacturing license, tax incentives, grants, import duty exemption, and MIDA promotional events. This Invest Malaysia online system will be launched officially this Friday, 26 March 2021. This new system will further strengthen our efficiency in evaluating applications submitted to MIDA, and we are dedicated and committed to ensure improvement in our delivery systems. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, I would like to thank all of you for your participation in this webinar. I'm certain that at the end of today's program, companies would be able to gain an insight about the new Invest Malaysia online system and will be able to understand on the usage of the system effectively. This webinar marks the beginning of many more support MIDA will be providing to our stakeholders. I would also encourage all of you to actively participate in the Q&A session and do take this opportunity to ask questions regarding this portal. Thank you very much. Stay safe. Kita jaga kita. Thank you very much.
Thank you, JK, for the keynote speech. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to remind all participants that questions can be posted to the Q&A box now. Ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite Cik Nur Hazwani Ruslan, E-Trans Project Development Team, to deliver a briefing. Silakan, Cik Nur Hazwani.
Assalamualaikum and good morning to all. I'm Nur Hazwani Ruslan. I'll be your presenter for today. So this will be the agenda, our agenda for today's webinar. I think most part of the agenda has been briefed through by the MC earlier on. So the webinar will be divided into two sessions. So the first one, the first session will start at approximately at 9:45 a.m. So I will walk you through the system, the application. We will focus on the first session. Will be focusing more on the registration. So it will take approximately 45 minutes throughout the session, and then we will take a break 5 to 10 minutes, and then we will continue with the second session that will start around 10:40 a.m. 45 minutes or so. We will conclude the second session around 11:25 a.m. Okay, basically the second session will cover the online application, the inquiry and help desk, the user guide, and the cut-off date. So this will take 45 minutes. And then we will continue with the question and answer for 15 minutes. And after that, the next session will be on the webinar survey. We need the company to participate in the survey. This will take only around 15 minutes for the company to fill in the survey. And then we will end our session around 12 p.m. Okay, so this will be the outline of the webinar today. So at the first section will be on the application walkthrough. Firstly, I will introduce the MIDA InvestMalaysia web address. And then we will start the first session that will cover the registration portion of the webinar today, which include the user registration. And then we will cover on the company registration as well. And then on the digital certificate, this is related to the digital signature because all applications submitted through E-Trans will be digitally signed because the application will be submitted online. So we will be using digital certificate for the digital signature. So I'll go into detail on this on the first session of the webinar. And then we will start on our second session on the online application, which cover new application, the previous approval. This is actually related to application which has been submitted pre-E-Trans. I mean, before we implement the E-Trans, what the company has to do when we go live on the 26th. So if any previous approval, I will walk you through what you have to do on the previous approval. And then I'll cover a bit on the post-approval application. And then the next section will be on the inquiry and help desk and the user guide as well. And finally, the important dates for the InvestMalaysia implementation on the 26th, the cut-off date. When you can start to submit the application, and then when we'll be shutting down the existing system and so on. Okay, MIDA InvestMalaysia will be using this web address. So all online applications which related to MIDA, when you want to submit the application, this web address will be used. HTTPS investmalaysia.mida.gov.my. Okay, so when you go to the application, basically this is the landing page that you will be seeing. So this is the login page, the main login page for the InvestMalaysia website. Okay, and then at the bottom you will see the list of online application. Okay, so this will be the actual website. So as you can see just now, so the first you can see the login page here, and then at the bottom you will see all the online application, the listing of online application that you can apply. So if you see here, you can there's a manufacturing license. So if you want to apply for manufacturing license, then you have the ICA 10 exempted from manufacturing license. Permit, incentive, expected post, grant, domestic sales, and others. Okay. Okay, moving on to the registration process flow. Okay, first we will cover on the existing user or contact person. Okay, in Invest Malaysia, your submission will be as a company, but before the company registration, each individual, or we call it user, contact person, or maybe a consultant for the company, you have to register yourself. You have to do the individual registration first, the self-registration. So as a contact person, before you can register any company. Okay, so basically this is the flow for the user registration. Okay, any individual or applicant, okay, for this is actually for the existing user. Means like if you have used previous MIDA online system, we migrated your contact person. So if you're still using the same email address, you don't have to do any new registration in Invest Malaysia. What you have to do is just to activate your account. Okay, what you have to do is first you have to submit an activation request to MIDA, and then MIDA will send activation email to your email address, and then you will receive the activation email. Okay, once you receive the activation email, you have to activate your account. And then once you activate your account, you can start to log in into the system, and you can update your user profile. Okay, this is the first step. The steps needed for you to activate your account. So what I mentioned earlier, first step is you need to submit an activation request. Once you receive the activation email, okay, this is the sample of the activation email that you will receive. So then you have to activate your account. Once you have activate, you have to click on the link in the email to activate your account. Then you are required to change your password. So this password will be using you will use that password to log in into the system. Okay, then you can use that login to log into the system. Okay, so this will be your login page. Okay, you can enter your email address and password, then you can click on the login button, and you can log into the system. Okay, once you are logged into the system, if you're migrated contact person, basically you have submitted an application in previous system. For example, you have submitted an exemption application. duty and tax exemption using the JPC online. So if we migrated your contact person, we migrated your profile and we migrated your company profile. So basically, when you log in, you don't have to do any new company registration. If you are tied to any company, once you are logged in, you can straight away see the list of the companies that you are listed as the contact person. For example, here, I am a contact person for Misi Niaga Berhad. So when I'm logged into the system, I can see the Misi Niaga Berhad listed as the company. So basically here you will see the list of applications submitted by that company, by Misi Niaga Berhad. So this can be any application. It can be like if you have submit incentive application, or you have submit import duty exemption application, or you have submit manufacturing license, you will see the list of application here. So if let's say your contact person maybe more than one company, so you'll be seeing like more than one company listed here. So the application listed is by company. So you can see each of the application, the status, the application number, and you can go into the form to view the details of the application. So basically, this is the company dashboard. What company will be seeing when they log in, or the applicant. Okay, what you have to do once you have activated your account, you have to update your user profile. You can do it by clicking on the update profile here. So you will see your user profile, the migrated info. So maybe what is being migrated is not an updated info. You can update your user profile here. Maybe your designation, previously you have a different designation. You can update your designation here. Your phone number, your email you can update. Okay, your phone number, your address, and so on. Okay, this information here, whatever you update in the user profile here, will be used as a contact person information when you submit your application. So make sure whatever information that you key in here is updated, the latest information, so that if MIDA officer or division has any request, any additional info, they can contact you, maybe through the email, through the phone. Okay, that is on the migrated contact person. So now I'll explain on the existing company. So as I mentioned earlier, what if you are migrated contact person, migrated user from the previous system, JPC Online, we will migrate your company profile as well, your company. So this is basically the basic process flow for the existing company. So contact person, they can update company profile and verify digital certificate. Okay, update the company profile. So I explained this earlier. So you can click here to update your company profile. Okay, so this is the company profile. The interface for the company profile. Basically, we have few sections here. But the most important part here is for you to update the address and the contact person. Okay, you can see here, this is the company profile, InvestMalaysia company profile. So you'll be seeing your company name here with the ROC number. And then we have few section here. You have the first main section is the company profile. And then you have the organization structure, you have the financing details, you have the project cost, you have the manpower, you have the history of application, industrial profile, and so on. Okay, the first section, company details, will cover your basic information. As you can see here, your company name, your registration ROC number, and then your date of incorporation, so your correspondent address. So if your company is migrated, please make sure you update the information here to so that your profile or your information here is up to date lah, updated the latest information. Okay, the most important thing is for you to update the contact person here. Migrated contact person, there might be cases whereby the migrated contact person is no longer working at the company. So you have to make sure that the contact person is updated. And then you have to update the authorized person as well. Okay, authorized person is the list of authorized person is the list of authorized person that will be used for the digital signature for the company's application submission. So this authorized person must have a valid and active digital certificate. Okay, when you want to add the contact person, you can click on the add record here, and then you can search the contact person. Okay, the prerequisite for contact person is that contact person must be a registered InvestMalaysia user. Means the user must have a active and verified account in InvestMalaysia. So in order for you to add another contact person to that company, that particular person must be a registered user first. Means they have to register in InvestMalaysia, then only when you try to search that contact person, the email will be listed. So if the email is not listed, that means that person is not yet registered. So okay, here, okay, the contact person information here, if you look here at the company profile, you cannot update the designation, the phone number, and the name in the company profile. Okay, let's say for example, here if you can see here, Nur Hazwani Ruslan is listed here as executive. So if let's say there's a change in the designation, this particular person has to go to the user profile to update the designation. Then only it will be reflected here. Whatever information they have to update in their respective user profile, phone number, the designation, or the title. They have to update in their user profile, then only it will be reflected here, it will be updated here. What they can do here in the company profile is only to add new contact person and to remove. Okay, next is you have to update the authorized person. Okay, to add on the authorized person, you click add the record here, and then okay, you click here the digital certificate. Okay, MIDA is using a third-party service for the digital certificate, post DigiCert. So when you want to register, if you want to register digital certificate, you will be redirected to the post DigiCert website. For the DigiCert registration. If let's say you have registered and then you want to verify your DigiCert digital certificate, also you will be redirected to the post DigiCert website. So if you have any issue or problems with the digital certificate, you can log the report in the help desk, which I'll explain later towards the end of the session. If you're having any technical difficulties or you have any inquiries, I'll explain it later towards the end of the session. But digital certificate, we are using third party services. We are using post DigiCert services. MIDA is using, so you have to register at their website. But you can initiate the registration through eTrans. It's just that the system will redirect you to their website. to proceed with the registration. Okay, once you have updated the basic company information, you have updated the contact person, and you have updated the authorized person, you can click on the update button and your information will be saved and updated. Okay, now we will cover the registration process flow for new user. Okay. Individual applicant, they have to do self-registration. Okay. Once they register, they will receive the verification email, and they have to verify their email. And once they have registered, they can start to register company. So this is related to a new company. If you want to register a new company, okay, and then you can submit. Okay, for new company, we have a approval workflow for new company registration. So once you have submitted company registration, new company registration, your application will be submitted to admin for review. So admin will review the company registration application. Okay, once it's approved, the contact person will receive email notification saying that your application, the company registration has been approved. Okay, so this is a step required for new user registration. First, we have to register your account. How to do that? In the login page, you will see one button here, register. You click on the register button, and then you have to fill in the user details. Okay, this is the basic information for the user details. Okay, you have to fill in all the mandatory information, your name, your designation, password, phone number, address, and so on. Then you click on the register button, and then there's a message saying that your registration is successful, and email notification has been sent to your email address. You have to log in to your email account and click on the verification link. Okay, so then you have to verify your email address. Okay, this is following the standard online application, self-registration. You will receive the verification email. What you have to do is to click on the link provided in the email to verify your email address. Okay, once you have verify your email address, you can start to log in to the system. Okay, here we provide you option or what you have to do, whether you want to log into InvestMalaysia or you want to log into our incentive portal, or you want to log any inquiry, or you want to log any technical issue in the help desk. So for application, you can log into InvestMalaysia website. Okay, still key in your email address, key in your password, and then you can key in on the login button to log in. Okay, for first time user, this will be the dashboard that you'll be seeing. At this point of time, you have not registered any company. So you have only registered yourself, you as a InvestMalaysia user. So here, again, we provide you option, which if let's say you want to register a company, you can click on the register company. And so if let's say you want to submit any feedback or inquiry or technical support, you need help on the technical support, you can click on any option listed here. But for company registration, okay, once you have register, if there's a need for you to update the user profile, you can click on the user profile here, or you can click on your profile here. Okay, it's either you click here or you can click here also to update your user profile. So once you click, so this is your user profile, basically the same interface during the new registration just now. If there is any change or you need to update your profile, just update it here and save the profile. If you want to change your password, you can click on the change password button next to the save button to change your password. Okay, once you have updated your user profile, you can start to register company. In order for you to submit any application, any online application, InvestMalaysia, in InvestMalaysia, you need to register a company for you to submit any application. Okay, so register company, fill in the company details. Okay, this is the, when you click on the register company, this is the page that you'll be seeing. Okay, the information here, all the information here is mandatory to be filled in. Okay, if you select local company, you have to fill in your company name, your registration type, and then you have to key in your registration number. Okay, so this is a example if the ROC number or the company name that you have entered is already exists in our database. So you will get that message. The company you're searching for already exists. Please get in touch with the contact person. So this is related to migrated company. So what you have to do is you have to get in touch with, we will list all the contact person for that company. So in the event that, let's say, that contact person is no longer in that company, you have to create a ticket in the help desk requesting the help desk to remove that contact person and then to add you as a contact person for that company. This case is always related to migrated company, like what I mentioned earlier, related to whichever that the contact person that we migrated is no longer working at that company. So if, let's say, your company is a new company, the company name and the RC number is new, does not exist in our database. So you will see this message, the company in search does not exist in MIDA's database, please register to proceed. So means you can proceed with the registration. So what you have to do is you click on the register button. And so you'll be seeing the basic company information here. Just basic information, your ROC number, your address. And then if you can see here, this is the list of required supporting documents that you have to provide. You have to attach, you have to upload for the approval. So you have to provide each document for the new company registration. So once you have filled in all the information, you can click on the register button. Okay, this is the message that you'll be seeing. Your company is successfully registered and pending for approval from MIDA. You will receive an email notifications when your company registration is approved. Okay. You automatically, once you have registered, you will receive pending approval email notification. Okay, this is how the email notification looks like. So you have to wait for the approval. Okay, once your company registration has been approved, you will receive the approval email notification. Okay, this is the email notification once your company registration is approved. So once you get this email notification, you can proceed to apply for any online application, MIDA. Okay, then you can start to log into InvestMalaysia. Okay, so just now when you first time log in, you are seeing different interface, different dashboard. Once your company has been approved, you will see that company, that approved company listed in the dashboard. So this is the example of newly registered company that has been approved. So you will see the company listed in your dashboard, but there's still no application yet because you have not yet created any application, you have not yet submit any application. So you can start to, okay, first you have to update your company profile. Again, because during the company registration, the new company registration, the information that you fill in, the information required during the registration is only a basic information. So company is required to fill in other information in the company profile. So you can go to the company profile to update all the required information. For example, here, again, most important thing is for you to update the contact person. Similar to the migrated company profile, you have to update also. The contact person must be a registered contact person, registered InvestMalaysia user. Then only it can be added as a contact person. Then you have to update your authorized person, and you have to verify the DigiCert for the authorized person. If it's a new authorized person, you have to register the DigiCert, digital certificate for that authorized person in order for you to proceed with the application submission. Okay, once you have successfully verified your DigiCert, you will see here the status of the digital certificate will be changed, will be updated into verified. So only verified contact person can digitally sign your application, because we have, for each of the application, online application, MIDA online application, we have one section. The last section of each application is a declaration section. So this section requires you to select the authorized person for the digital signature to sign the application form to proceed with the submission. So you have to make sure that your authorized person is updated, and each authorized person must be verified. Okay, that will be the end of our first session. Okay, we are back from the break. We will continue with the second session, our second session. Okay, second session, I'll be covering on more on the online application, MIDA online application. So okay, the first section is on the list of MIDA online application, list of the online application that company can apply, company can submit. Okay, this is basically the category of the application. Okay, the first one, we have manufacturing license as well as the permit PDA2. And then we have second, we have incentives application. And then the third one, we have status application. We have expected post application. And then we have representative office, regional office, or RERO. Okay, and finally the grant. Okay, for the number 1 and until number 5, the manufacturing license, PDA, permit PDA2, incentive, status, expected post, and RERO, company can start to apply on the 26th when we go live. But for grant, it will be in the future release. So it will not be included in the implementation on the 26th. The 26th, you can only start to apply on manufacturing license from number 1 to number 5. Okay, so I'll go into detail each of the application for each of the category. Okay, the first one is on the manufacturing application. Okay, for manufacturing application, we have manufacturing license. We have exempted from manufacturing license ICA 10, and then domestic sales. And the last one, you have application to sell products in domestic market by a FIZ LMW status company. Okay, if you look here, manufacturing, for example, manufacturing license, we have a few application types. Means you can submit for new manufacturing license, new manufacturing project, and then you can submit for expansion application if you want to expand your, and then you can submit for an application for diversification. You can apply for regularization. Okay, so this is the different application type for the manufacturing license. Okay, for each of the application category, other than the new application, we have post approval of each of the application. Okay, for example, here for post approval of manufacturing license, okay, this will be included in future release. Means it will not be in the 26th, the implementation on the 26th. So for manufacturing license, we have 4 applications that company can apply. Once the number one is for issuance of manufacturing license. Means if you have manufacturing license, manufacturing project approved, you can apply for issuance of manufacturing license. You can apply for transfer of manufacturing license, amendment, deletion of condition, redefinition of product. Basically, all the online application that we have in InvestMalaysia is the same as the application that we have now. The existing application is just that now all the application will be applied online instead of previously company is using the PDF printed form to submit the application. So now every application will be done online, 100% online, end to end, from the submission until the approval. So that's why if you're familiar with MIDA online application, so you'll be seeing the same list of application. So for example, here is the post licensing application. So example here, you can do the change of company name if you want to apply for amendment of factory address, change of factory location, consolidation of manufacturing license, duplication, and so on. This is the list of application that you can submit under the post licensing. Okay. So post licensing also will be included in future release. Okay, next application is on the permit, PDA 2 application. Okay, here you can see permit under the Petroleum Development Act application. We have 3 different application type. You can submit for new permit, you can submit for expansion, and you can apply for diversification as well. Okay, listed here is the post approval of permit, future release. So this is the list of application that you can apply for the post approval. Means after the approved permit, you can apply for this application. Whether you want to apply for issuance of permit, you want to change your company name, you want to amend or change your factory location, you can amend or delete or the condition, you want to redefine your product, consolidate your permit, and so on. Okay, next category is on the incentive application. Okay, so for incentive application, we have two types of incentive. The first one is the Promotion of Investment Act 1986, and then the second one is selected incentive under Income Tax Act 1967. Okay, so each of the application, we have three types of application type. The first one is new. You can apply for expansion, you can apply for diversification for each of the application. Okay, so this is the list of application for post approval for incentive. This will be included in future release as well. So this is the list of application that you can apply for post approval. After the approved incentive, you can apply for change of company name. If you want to redefine your product, if you want to withdraw your incentive, you surrender incentive, retaining, change of incentive, and so on. Okay, so this is the list of post incentive. This is the future release as well. Okay, so this is the list of application. Once you have incentive approved, if you want to apply for the determination of effective date, you want to extend your incentive period. If you want to defer the determination of effective date, you want to surrender the incentive, you want to withdraw the incentive. So we have the list of application that you can apply here. And then this is the list of application for status. Basically, we have two status application. One is status logistic services, status R&D activities. You have different types here. You can see here you have new expansion and diversification. This will be included in the 26 on the 20 the implementation on the 26th. Means on the 26th you can apply, you can start to apply for the status application. For the post approval, it will be included in future release. So for post approval status, we have two additional product for regional distribution center, and then we have additional product for international procurement center. Okay, so next is on the grant application. Okay, grant application, new application and the post approval application both will be included in future release. So these are the type of application that you can apply. The grant application, you can apply for high impact fund or domestic investment strategic fund. And then once you have grant approved, you can apply for grant disbursement. And then for post approval grant, you can change your company. You can apply for change of company name, redefinition of product, amendment, deletion of condition. If you want to withdraw your grant, surrender of grant, and if you want to retain your grant. So these are the list of application that you can apply for post approval grant. Okay, next is on the expected post application. Okay, for new application, we have expected post new application. We have few types here. Company can apply for new application, and then you can apply for extension, and you can apply for additional. And then we have post approval expected post as well. So these are the list of application that you can apply for post approval. Okay, these are the list of application for RERO application. Okay, representative office and regional office. You have the RERO new application. Then you have extension RERO, expected post RERO, additional expected post RERO, and then we have the post approval RERO as well. Change of company name, change of address, and if you want to surrender your approved RERO, so you can do that. Okay, basically these are the business process change, the main major change from the existing manual way of submitting the application. The first one is no more combined application. Okay, this one is related, like if for example currently company is allowed to, you can submit your manufacturing license and your incentive application together. But in Invest Malaysia, there's no more combined application. You have to submit a separate application for both. That is what we meant here by no more combined application. Each application must be submitted separately. Okay, the second one is previously approved data to be keyed in by company. Okay, this one means like if you have previously approved incentive or you have previously approved manufacturing license pre-Invest Malaysia, means before Invest Malaysia is implemented, so you need to key in the previously approved data in the system. Then only you can apply for the subsequent application. Means for example, if let's say currently you have new manufacturing license approved at the interim level, and then if you want to apply for issuance of license, you have to key in the information, the previously approved manufacturing license in the Invest Malaysia. Then only you can apply for issuance of license, because the issuance of license application will be initiated from that approved application. So whatever approved application that you have previously have incentive, whether it's incentive, expected post, or manufacturing license, must be keyed in the system by the company. Then only you can initiate, you can apply for the subsequent application. If you say you already have a manufacturing project, if you want to apply for extension, if you want to apply for expansion, if you want to apply for diversification, or you want to apply for regularization, you have to key in the previously approved data first. Then only you can apply for the expansion or regularization or any post-approval application, whether you want to change the company name or you want to change the factory location and so on. If let's say you apply the new application through the system, you don't have to key in the approved data. Completed application, if let's say you apply new manufacturing license through InvestMalaysia, the approval data will be stored in the company profile, so you don't have to key in. You only have to key in the approved data that is being approved before InvestMalaysia, the pre-InvestMalaysia. Okay, all application can be submitted online, all decision to be downloaded online. This is what I mentioned earlier, that online application in InvestMalaysia is 100% online, end-to-end process. There's no more manually submission, manually you receive the decision letter manually posted by MIDA. No, even the decision letter, whatever letter, you can download it online through the InvestMalaysia website. Okay, so basically this is the online application process flow. Okay, first company or applicant create the application. Okay, so when you create the application, so this is the status. Okay, in the InvestMalaysia, the most important thing when you create an application or you apply for any application, we have application status for each of the applications. So it's color coded. There are different application status. It's actually according to the which stage are you at. So for example, when you create new application, you will be seeing like the status as draft. Okay, so this is a okay, you can see here, for example here, Machine Niaga, I've created 3 application. All 3 application are a manufacturing license. So you can see the application status here. So application type is actually related to the one that I mentioned earlier, is whether the new whether it's expansion, diversification, or regularization. So application is the application name, whether you're applying for incentive, expected post, or any post approval application. So this is the application number generated by the system. So this is the application status, is color coded based on the status. So when you created the application, which is still in draft, means that you have not submitted the application status will be draft. Okay, so the application status will be changed accordingly throughout your submission, throughout your approval. Okay, so when you create the application status will be draft, and then once you submit the application, okay, as what I mentioned earlier, submission requires authorized person to be a verified DigiCert. You have to verify your DigiCert first in order for you to submit your application, because we're using digital signature. So during the submission, we will have integration with Post DigiCert for the digital signature. So if you have successfully submitted your application, you can see here the status will be changed to submitted. Okay, then your application will be submitted to division. Division will review your application. So at this point of time, you will notice that your application status will be changed to in progress. Then once division has accepted your application, the status will be accepted for processing. Okay, at this point of time, you will receive acknowledgement email and you will receive acknowledgement letter. So you can view and download the acknowledgement letter online through the system. It's in PDF format. So once your application is being accepted, next will be your application will be tabled in the committee. So if your application is approved, once the chairman digitally signed the decision letter, you will see that your application has been changed, updated to completed. Means at this point of time, your application is completed. Okay, once your application is completed, you can start to view and download your decision letter. Okay, so this is the step for this webinar. We will be using manufacturing license application as a example. So I'll walk you through how to create and how to apply and how to submit the manufacturing license application. Okay, for example here, the example here we're using is manufacturing license application new. For new application. Okay, first you have to create new application. Okay, when you log in, you'll be seeing one header menu called application. So application here will, you will see the list of application that you can apply. So if you can see here, we have confirmation letter for exemption, SPM, and if you want to apply for import duty and sales tax exemption, we have manufacturing license, we have incentive, we have ICA 10, domestic sales permit, status, expected post, and so on. So for manufacturing license, what you have to do is you have to click on the manufacturing license. Okay, so once you click, okay, this is the application list. For each of the application category, whether it's incentive, grant, you will see your application list here. So here is a very comprehensive list and comprehensive search form whereby you can search by your application number. You can search by company. In the event if let's say you have if you have more than one company, okay, and then next you click on the new manufacturing license. Okay, you can apply for different manufacturing, whether it's new, expansion, or diversification regulation. But for this walkthrough, we'll be showing you the new manufacturing license application. Okay, you fill in the application form. Okay, if let's say you are familiar or you have applied for new manufacturing license before, you will notice that the information or the section that for the application is more or less similar to whatever with the existing application form. It's just that there might be a slight difference in terms of the section, maybe the arrangement of the section, but you will notice that you have the similar section. You have the project cost section, you have the project financing section, you have the manpower section, and so on. So basically, it's this similar to the manual form, the PDF form, printed form that we have now, but still there are changes updated for the online application. So as you can see here, the first section is the company. Okay, for the company profile, is actually the information here is extracted from the company profile. Means you don't have to fill in the information again. So that's why, as what I mentioned earlier, it's very important for you to make sure that your information is updated in the company profile. because whatever the information that you key in the company profile, for each of the application that you want to apply, the information will be retrieved from the company profile, where your registration number, your registered address, and so on. So that's why you can see here is this, the field is disabled. If you want to change the information, you have to update your company profile first, then only it will be reflected here. This is on the company section. Second section is on the previous company activity project. Okay, again, this information here is retrieved from the your company profile. Okay, the first section will be retrieved. Okay, this is the company profile, your company profile. So the first section will be retrieved from this the first section, the company profile. So whatever that you update here, when you create the application, it will be populated in the section A, the company, in the application form. Your correspondent address, your company background, your particular board of directors, contact person, and authorized person. So it will be retrieved for your company profile. So make sure you update your company profile accordingly with the latest and updated information. And then for the second section, section B, is actually populated from the industrial profile. Okay, here is in the industrial profile section, you have few section that The first one you can see is on your manufacturing license approval, and then you have approval of permit, and then you have approval of domestic sales, and then you have approval on the ICA 10, and then you have the approval on the status, and then you have approval on the incentive grant, expected post. Okay. If, for example, you have applied for expected post for manufacturing license, so one record will be added here. Approved application will be listed here. If let's say you have applied for incentive application and has been approved, so we will see one record here with all the information, the reference number, your application, the sector, type of incentive, date of approval, your product activity, and so on. So each approved application will be listed in the industrial profile section in your company profile. Okay, this whole information will be populated here. So this section is retrieved from the industrial profile section in your company profile. So if let's say you have approved manufacturing license, it will be listed here. If let's say you have approved permit, it will be listed here. Grant, incentive, and so on. Okay, the third section C is on the application information. Okay, here, this is a section whereby you key in your proposed project location. Okay, in this section, the first thing that you key in the industry group. Industry group is based on product, your product. So you have to select. You can see the list here, whether it's food manufacturing, textile, wood, and so on. So this is based on your product. You have to select the industry group based on product. Okay. So this is where you key in your proposed project location. It can be more than one location. So once you key in the location here, you will see one section here that requires you to key in the product. So you have to fill in, if let's say you have more than one location, you have to fill in the product for each of the location. So this is where you key in the project location. So this is where you key in the product for each of the location. Okay. This location here, this product here is very, the information you key in here is very important because the project location you key in here and the product you key in here will be used throughout the remaining section. Because there are section that is location based. For example, the project cost. So it's actually retrieved from this location, the location that you key in section C, application information. Okay, for example, project cost is actually location based. So this is the location that you key in from the section C earlier. If let's say you have more than one location, you will see two addresses, two location here. So you have to fill in the project cost for each of the location. Okay, so this is the application information, important section where you need to specify your project location and your product. So next section is on the project cost. As I mentioned earlier, the location, project cost is location based. You have to key in the project cost for each of the location. Location is retrieved from the location that you key in earlier in section C. Okay, next is on the project financing. Okay, one thing to note here that I want to emphasize is the project financing, the financing details that you key in here is company financing, not project financing. So it's actually at the company level. So you have to key in the financing details, the company financing details. Okay, next is on the manpower information. Okay, for manpower information, we provide a download, Excel and download and upload feature. So means like if you have thousands of hundreds of manpower records, then you can use the Excel instead of you fill in through the system one by one. So you can click on the download Excel template. Once you click, you will download the Excel template for the manpower. So this is the sample of the Excel template for manpower. You can fill in the information in the Excel file. Position, qualification, major, cost, experience, nationality, salary, and number of staff, and so on. Then you can upload the Excel. Okay, if you notice here next to the download button, you will see like the upload Excel button. So you can upload the Excel file that you have keyed in earlier. Once you upload, all the information in the Excel will be populated in the screen. Okay, next is on the specific industry. Okay, again, if you notice here, specific industry is also by location, is location based. You can see here, okay, so this is an example of the specific industry. If you have one location, you have to key in the details, the information for each of the location. So this is the example if you have one location. So if you have more than one, you'll be seeing another location here. Again, you have to fill in the details for that location also. So this is on the specific industry. Okay, this is on the additional information section. You have to fill in all the required information, and then this is the supporting documents. Okay, supporting document section. For each of the application, we have a different set of documents that you need to upload. You need to provide depending on the application. So expected post, for example, requires different set of supporting documents for you to submit. Manufacturing license, incentive, we have different set of supporting documents that you need to submit. All the list of documents will be listed here. All you have to do is to upload. So for example, the supporting documents required for the manufacturing license application is for example here, manufacturing process flowchart, machinery list and equipment. This is an example lah. So maybe they require you to submit your SSM profile. For post-approval application, you have to provide your manufacturing license, copy of your manufacturing license. And then if let's say you want to apply for post-approval application, for example, if you want to change your factory location, maybe you have to provide your previously approved manufacturing license, similar to incentive. So whatever required information that you required documents that you need to submit, it will be listed here. So all you have to do is just submit the required document. So next section is the company operation and technology. Okay, this is also you have to provide the supporting document for the activity as well, whichever relevant to your application. Okay, and then the second last section is on the eligibility criteria. Okay, we have a logic in place to compute the eligibility criteria for your application. So this section is actually automated. If you can see here, example of the eligibility criteria, you can refer to this section, the score, and then whether you're eligible or not. So there's nothing for you to fill in here because it's computed by the system based on whatever the information that you key in earlier. Okay, once you fill in all the information, you can proceed to submit the application. Okay, for all online application, as what I mentioned earlier, we are using digital certificate for the digital signature. So each of the application, whether you are applying for expected post incentive, you will have the last section, we call it declaration section. For each of the application, you will be seeing this section. It's a common section across all application. So here is where you have to select the authorized person listed in your company profile earlier on. If let's say you have three authorized person, so when you click on the name drop down here, so you will see the three name. So you can select which contact authorized person for the digital signature. So once you select the authorized person, system will populate the IC number and the designation. Only verified digital certificate can be used for the submission. So then you can proceed to submit the application. Okay, once you have submit the application, as what I mentioned earlier, you can use the application status, the color coded application status, to know the status of your application. Okay, but if let's say once you have submitted the application, okay, we have a comment feature here for the communication between you and the division or the officer that is processing your application. Okay, in the event that your application is written for additional info, you can click on the comment button here, then you will see the feedback that was given by the officer. So actually you can refer to each of the section comment will be provided for each of the section. So if your application is written, make sure to check each section for the comment. For example, let's say maybe at the supporting document section, you will notice that the officer mentioned something, you have to provide additional supporting documents, or maybe whatever, maybe the information that you key in project financing, you need to amend or you need to update. So you can see the comment for each of the section, whatever information or whatever things that you need to amend or update for the application. Then you can proceed to submit the application. So this is the example of the communication between the officer and the company. So for example here, for project financing section, you can see the comment by the officer. Okay, the other feature that we have is this button here, we call it application trail. Okay, this application trail is for you to, as a reference for you to know at which stage or at which stage is your application now. So for example here, if let's say for this example, we are using the completed application. So you can view here, for example, when you submit the application, there'll be date, and then when your application is completed. So all information will be displayed here. So actually, in order for you to know the status of the application, detailed status, you can click on the application trail here. The comments by the officer also will be listed here if your application is being written. So this is the application trail. Okay, once your application once your application is approved, is completed, so you can view and download the decision letter. Okay, for example here, you can see the status is completed, green color. Then there are few documents that you can view and download here. You can download your application form, you can download your acknowledgement letter, you can download the decision letter, and if there's lampiran, you can download it as well. So this is actually depending on the application. So for example, once the application is completed, normally what you want to view is the decision letter. So you can click on the decision letter here, and then your decision letter will be downloaded. Okay, so this is the sample of the decision letter, the downloaded decision letter. So you can see here the digital signature for the decision letter. For example, the sample that we have here is signed by Datuk Majid on 5th February 2021. We have the time as well. So this is the signed decision letter. You can download it through the system. Each of the application, you'll be seeing the document that you have to, you can download. So this is the example. Decision letter can only be downloaded once your status is completed. If your application is still in progress, you will not see that decision letter button. Okay, now next section I will explain further on the previous approval. Okay, previous approval application is, as I mentioned earlier, is related to the approval prior to InvestMalaysia. Means your approval is being approved using the current existing application. So you have to create new previous approval record in the InvestMalaysia. So I will walk through I will walk you through how to create the previous approval data. Okay, previous approval data must be keyed in the company profile. So this is your company dashboard. If you want to go to your company profile, you click on the company profile. Okay, and then you have to go to the industrial profile section. So this is where you key in the previous approval data, whether you have previously approved incentive, whether you have previously approved manufacturing license, previously approved grant, expected post. You can click on the button here. For example, if you have previously approved manufacturing license, then you can click on the add previous approved record here. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, industrial profile is one of the important section for previous approval data. So if let's say you have previously approved permit, you can click on the add previous approved record here. So you will be redirected to the form, to the previous approved form for permit. And then if let's say you have previously approved incentive, you have to key in your previous approved incentive data. If you have previous grant approved, you have to key in also. So as I mentioned earlier, if you have previously approved manufacturing license prior to InvestMalaysia, and if you want to apply for expansion or if you want to apply for diversification, you have to key in the information, the approved data in your company profile first, in the industrial profile. Then only you can create the diversification or expansion application. So on the 26th, when we go live, if let's say if you want to apply for expansion of manufacturing license, what you have to do first is for you to key in the previous approved record. Then only you can create the expansion application from that previously approved record that you key in earlier. So every previously approved approval data will go through an approval, a verification process. So once you submit your application, your previous approved data will go to MIDA for verification. Okay, so this is the example of the manufacturing license.
Kata nak duduk tadi.
Okay, this is the example of the form for manufacturing license. So this is the information required for you to key in. Basically, you can get all the information from your decision letter, your approved decision letter. So you can get all the information from your approval, your date of approval, your product, your location, and so on. So once you have filled in all the required information, you can submit the previous approval form by clicking here. Okay, and then okay, this is how it will look like if you have created any previous approval record. So for example here, I have created 3 records for the manufacturing license. You can view the status here whether it's verified or still pending verification. So once you have submitted the previously approved data, you will see the status at this point of time is still pending verification, because it need to be verified by MIDA first. Okay, once MIDA has verified your previously approved data, then you will notice that the status has been changed to verified. So once the status is verified, you can start to apply application, the subsequent application. For example, here, if let's say you want to apply for issuance of license, you have to click to the action button and you click on the issuance of license. Okay, this is the example of post-approval for issuance of manufacturing license. How do we create the issuance of manufacturing license? Okay, first you have to fill in the form. Similar to any online application, you have the section listed here on the left side. You can see all the sections. So, for example, here is the issuance of license section. Okay, the information is populated from the previously approved data you key in earlier, so you don't have to do anything. Here, you just have to verify, and then you have to fill in the remarks. So that's why it's very important when you key in the previously approved data, you have to make sure the data key in is accurate and is correct. So because that information, once it's being verified, it will be used throughout any application after that, any post-approval application or any subsequent application. So you have to make sure that the information you key in during the previous approved data is correct, because all the information will be populated in the subsequent application form. Okay, then similar to any all the application form, you have the supporting document section. You have to upload all the necessary and the required supporting documents. And the final section is the declaration, where you submit the post-approval application. Similar to any online application, you have to select the authorized person, must be a verified DigiCert user. Then you can proceed to submit the application. Okay, so that's all on the online application. Okay, now on the inquiry and help desk. Okay, if let's say you have any inquiry, you can go to the MIDA InvestMalaysia website, and you can submit an inquiry here by using the inquiry and feedback link here. Okay, for help desk for help desk issue, you can submit, create a ticket. You can log a report in the technical support. Okay, one thing that I want to emphasize here is there's a difference between the two. If let's say you have any issues related with the system, if you encountered any error message during the submission of the application, if you cannot proceed with the application, if there's an issue with the application form, any technical issue, you need to use the technical support, or we call it help desk. Please log a ticket in the help desk for MIDA to accordingly assist you with the issue. If let's say you have any inquiry related to which application you need to submit, related to any business, more on the business process, how to go about if you want to submit the application, if you want to apply for incentive, if you want to apply for expected post, or maybe you need a unique guide, help on the application submission, how to fill in the form and so on, please use the inquiry and feedback. Technical support or help desk is only issues related to the system, technical issue. If you cannot proceed with the application, if you click on this button, it's not working, or you encountered any error message being shown by the system, please use the technical support. Inquiry is more on the process. If you need help on which application to submit, you need help with the filling up the form, if you need to understand certain terms or certain information that you need to fill in the form, please use the inquiry and feedback. Then the division, your inquiry will be routed to the relevant division, and the officer will assist you on your inquiry and feedback. If you have issues on technical issues related to system, then the technical team will assist you accordingly. We will fix the issue for you to proceed with whatever issue that you have. So you can proceed to submit the application. So make sure you log the report correctly using whether it's helpdesk or inquiry. Okay, this is on the technical, the helpdesk and inquiry. Okay, next is on the user guide. Okay, for each of the application, we have user guide. MIDA provided user guide for you to refer to. So for example here, how can you view and download the user guide? You can click on the learn about the system link here. This is the example of the user guide that is available for you to download and for you to refer. So if for example if you need help or guide on how to fill in your manufacturing license application, you can download the manufacturing license user guide. If you need help on the domestic sales, whether incentive or expected post, you can download the relevant user guide here. Even if you need help how to log a report in the help desk, or you need help how to create an inquiry, we have the user guide for that as well. So you can refer to the list of user guide available here. You can download and refer. Okay, that is on the user guide. Okay, the final section is on the cut-off date. These are the important date that you need to know. The first one is the last application submission in the current EML and E incentive will be on 24th March before 6 p.m. Which is actually today. If you have intention to submit the it's actually on the 25th. Okay, 25th March before 6. Sorry. And then on the downtime will be on the 24th March 2021, 6 p.m. until 26 March 9 a.m. Okay, so Invest Malaysia to start receiving application on the 26 March 2021 at 9 a.m. So starting on 26 March onwards at 9 a.m. you can start to apply, you can start to register, you can start to use the Invest Malaysia system. So this is the website. Okay, thank you. That will be all for the application walkthrough today.
Thank you, Cik Nur Azwani. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now in the Q&A sessions. We have about 15 minutes for this session, and we will try our best to answer your questions, as many as possible. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite our panelists to take their seats. Before we begin, let me introduce our panelists. Ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed, let me introduce our panelists for today. On the far right is obviously Cik Nur Azwani. And next to her is Puan Surayu Susak, Director of Chemical and Advanced Materials, and also subject matter experts, SME consultant. And next is Encik Ahmad Zakwan Ghazali, Director of Information Technology System Development, MIDA. And also Mr. Ravi Chandra Padur, Project Director and Vendor for eTrans, to address our questions for today. Right. With me, I have a few questions, and we have selected a few questions to be discussed during this Q&A. For the first question, I think this one, I will direct it to Cik Nur Hazwani. Cik Nur Hazwani, the company, based on your presentation, the company is required to key in previous approved data in the system to clarify whether the approved data is referring to the data related to MIDA only, or is there any approval granted for to company, including from the other ministries or agencies?
Okay, all approved data by MIDA, including from other ministry agencies, are required to be key in the system.
Let me add on to it. Actually, the previously approved data is required in the system, to start a particular process. But what happens eventually is once the InvestMalaysia has the approved data in the system, so after that, the company doesn't need to key in those data. It will be available for the company when it comes back again for a post-approval or any kind of applications, including extension, expansion, and all. It's only when they do it for the first time they need to key in, because MIDA has fast-tracked this project with the minimum data migration in terms of company profile and all. And but the approval process needs a lot more data. So that's why when you start the process, you need to come in and key in the data first time only, the previous approval. Anything that is approved in eTrans, you don't need to key in. It's already there when you go to the next level of process. Okay.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Ravi. Thank you, Puan Wani. Next question is to Cik Zakwan. Cik Zakwan, is there any processing fees or charges imposed for the digital certificate, Cik Zakwan?
Okay, thank you, Cik Rami. Yes, there is. There's a fee of 300 ringgit Malaysia that company has to pay for to possess the digital certificate, which can be paid via MIDA payment channel. This validity of the digital certificate will last for 2 years. Just to remind you all, as far as the system is concerned, prior you are starting off or you want to put your data and to submit the application, please ensure that your certificate is valid. And if not so, as I mentioned earlier, do it through MIDA payment channel. Thank you.
So, what is the mode of payment, Cik Zakwan? Is it using credit card or balance transfer or FPX or something?
Okay. At the moment, our payment channel is actually, we have one mode, which is FPX from your personal account. But we are looking into improvement of this payment channel that will be coming soon, that you all can pay through credit card or the company's account. So at the moment, please bear with us that it has to be from personal account, which is FPX.
Thank you, Cik Zakwan.
Yeah.
The next question is to Puan Surayu. Puan, does company still need to submit the hard copy of the application after submission was done through the portal, InvestMalaysia portal?
All right. Thank you, Amir. For the application submitted through InvestMalaysia portal, company is no longer required to submit the hard copy. As informed during the presentation, there will be stages on release of online applications. So I would like to encourage all clients to check at the latest update at our website, mida.gov.my. So actually, every 2 weeks, we will give the updates through the websites on the release of the applications. Thank you.
Thank you, Puan Surayu. Encik Zakwan again. Does the help desk available 24/7, Encik Zakwan?
Okay, of course. Of course, the system is available 24/7. The system is available, but of course, we will respond within the working hours. We will try to respond as quick as possible within 1 day, and hopefully that we can resolve it within 3 days. And please ensure that you log your problem in our help desk system in order for us to assist your issues. And you can also call us if there is something that beyond our response that you need assistance, and you can call to our call center. But the point is, make sure that you have logged your problem and through our system. If the answer is not possible for you to get through with your problem, and then you can do so calling us at our call center.
Right, thank you, Encik Zakwan.
Yeah.
This next question is for Cik Wani. Cik Wani, can the registration of the company profile and submission of online application be done by third party authorized by the company, for instance, tax consultant? Boleh, Cik Wani?
Boleh. Yes, company is liable for all information declared by the authorized third party.
Jamir, I would like to add on what Giovanni said. In terms of the very important thing for companies to remember is when you assign an external party as a consultant to apply on behalf of the company, it is also equally important that once that consultant or who is once he has finished his work, and if the company feels that he is not engaged anymore with the company to represent on behalf of the company in MIDA application processing, you all need to actually remove that person from the company profile as an authorized person in the company, so that your future applications and all will not be exposed to the person who is no more in charge. So that's why it's very important for companies to monitor the consultant who is assigned, and who should be available and how long he should be in the system, and accordingly manage your company profile. Because now with the InvestMalaysia, your company profile is managed by you, so that anything that is needed in terms of accessibility and all is strictly governed by the authorized person in the company.
Thank you, Mr. Ravi. So, Mr. Ravi, based on the presentation just now, the post-approval applications will be released in the near future. Meanwhile, how does the company do the submission of the application, and any tentative date for the release, Mr. Ravi?
Yes. Tentative date will be sometime in the middle of next month, April. And while waiting for the release of automated post-approval, accepting the post-approval applications, companies can continue to use the application forms based on that's available in the website, in MIDA website. And of course, MIDA internally has a process to make sure that those applications are still aligned with the InvestMalaysia application processing. And as usual, once the system is available, there will be a process for the companies to actually capture the previously uploaded information from MIDA, which is a prerequisite for the companies to apply any post-approval applications. It will go through an internal verification process in MIDA, after which only company can submit the post-approval application. Yeah, further details will be shared when we get near to the post-approval launch. Yeah.
Sir, can the company update or change the information in the system after the company submit the online application?
Yes, but there is a dependency. In fact, if companies have already submitted the applications to MIDA, then there is a process where the screening officer will return the application to the companies. If they feel that the application is not complete, it lacks certain information which need to be furnished, so they will return the application to the company. Or otherwise, the company need to call MIDA and request MIDA to return the applications back to the company so that company can amend and resubmit back. So this process will continue throughout the processing cycle till MIDA feels that the application submitted by the company is complete and it is good for processing. Yeah. That's
Thank you, Mr. Ravi. Ladies and gentlemen, I think most of the questions we have answered it in the Q&A box. So, Cik Zakwan, do you have anything?
Yes.
Right?
Sorry, thank you, Cik Ibrahim. Just to highlight again, I think you have mentioned there will be a downtime where we have to close down our system and to move all this application into a production environment. And the date of downtime is Thursday evening.
Yeah.
Thursday evening. That means 25th evening, 6 o'clock, and will continue.
The system will be down. InvestMalaysia will be down 6 p.m. today, 24.
Okay, 24.
And EML and e-incentive will be down tomorrow, 25th, 6 p.m. Okay.
So for those who already submitted through EML and e-incentive, which is existing now, the existing system, MIDA will continue process the application through the existing system, and we will notify in terms of the outcome of the application. By today, that means InvestMalaysia will close down, and
6
then
p.m.
6 p.m. and then the EML and e-incentive will close down tomorrow. Just to highlight that. Yeah.
Thank you, Cik Zakwan. Mr. Ravi, do you have anything to say before?
Yeah.
Points right?
Okay. From me, basically, like Hazwani has mentioned about the approval for the manufacturing license. So, as you are aware that company will be required to submit the implementation survey and also the APR survey. So, basically, using this system, we will notify the company and to remind them to fill up the implementation survey and the APR survey. So generally, for the implementation survey, the company will need to fill up after 6 months from the date of approval. And for the APR survey, company is required to fill up annually once company has commenced their operations soon. Okay, thank you.
And Cik Azwani, do you have anything to say before?
I think when I saw the question from the companies, most of them are asking about the previous approval data. So one thing that I want to emphasize that you just have to fill in that once. So it's actually one time submission. So one time you just have to fill in one time. So that's the same approval data will be used throughout any subsequent application. So if let's say you key in the previous approved ML, so you will be using the same approved data for your diversification or for your regularization or for your expansion or maybe for post-approval application also. So only one time. It's not like each time you want to apply for any like for example expansion application you have to fill in. No, it's one time. So that's why I emphasized earlier during my presentation, you have to make sure that the information that you key in is correctly entered because it will affect your subsequent application. If you wrongly key in your project location, your product or any approval information, so you will carry out throughout the subsequent application. So it's very important for you, like you have to really make sure that the information you key in the previously approved data is correct. So it's one time only. So that is the thing that I want to highlight. And then I think they're asking like they thought like it's like compulsory for them to submit the application in EML. It's actually no. If you plan to submit and maybe manufacturing license application, if you can wait, you can apply to InvestMalaysia on 26 starting from 9 a.m. onwards. It's not like for you to compulsory or necessary for you to key in the EML. So EML is more on whatever that the existing application Abang Zrayu yang dah submit.
Which already currently in progress. So that application will be continued evaluating by MIDA or if the company still has the draft, preparing the draft of the submission, so please proceed with the submission to MIDA first. And then because as mentioned by Mr. Zakwan, that the EML and e-incentive portal will be down or will be not accepting the applications starting tomorrow 6 p.m. So I hope that all the clients ensure that you are take the necessary actions in avoiding any unnecessary things to be happen. Okay.
Okay, and then I think I saw questions also which are related to like the company that they have been using the system since last year for the import and duty tax exemption. So if let's say you have been using InvestMalaysia system since last year, you have submitted any import duty tax exemption application, you don't have to do anything unless you want to register a new user, or you want to add a new contact person, or you want to register a new company. You can use the existing company, you can use the existing email for you to log in. It's just that the thing that we presented today is more on other application other than the import duty and exemption, the grant application, the incentive application, manufacturing license. So if you have been using the InvestMalaysia website since last year, you can start to apply for manufacturing license incentives. So you'll be seeing the option available for you to apply. Instead of now, you'll be seeing only 2 options. You can apply for confirmation letter or import duty exemption application only. So now you can start to apply all the application other than JPC application, like import duty exemption application. So whatever that you key in, the previously approved for import duty tax exemption, you don't have to do anything. So it's already in the system. It's actually related to the import duty exemption. But let's say if you have previously approved manufacturing license or incentive, that's the thing that you need to key in. You need to key in on the 26th when we go live. Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that will be the end of our Q&A session, and I would like to thank our panelists for today, Cik Ahmad Zakwan, Mr. Ravichandra, Puan Surayu, and Cik Nur Hazwani for their efforts on answering the questions. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any inquiries regarding the system and for post-event inquiries, you may email your inquiry to investmalaysia@mida.gov.my. So you can email your inquiries to investmalaysia@mida.gov.my. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our webinar for today. We would like to thank all of you for your participation in attending this webinar virtually today. But before we end our webinar, we would appreciate your feedback by clicking on the link on your screen, or you may scan the QR code. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today's presentation will be made available at MIDA website and also MIDA YouTube page. We also encourage companies to go to our newly revamped MIDA website for any updates, or you may visit our social media page on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Should you need more guidance or any inquiries related to our organization, you may reach out to any of our nearest MIDA state offices. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, once again, and we hope to see you again soon. Thank you.